Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Zoro and Sanji are always fighting with each other. Even though they belong to the same crew, they often disagree, leading to clashes at various points in the One Piece story. The only thing that unites these two characters is their desire to protect the crew members. In today's video, we will talk about the day Sanji revealed the real reason for the enmity between him and Zoro. Before I reveal all this to you, I count on your support to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I also hope I can help you achieve your dream of learning to draw your favorite anime and manga characters, doing whatever you want in the way you imagined, something that becomes easy when you have access to the incredible course, Anime Express by teacher Noah Williams, which costs less than $1 a day, so check the link in the description to learn in just a few weeks. Now, let's get to the video. Guys, Zoro is always shown competing with Sanji, arguing over trivial matters, often at inopportune moments when they need to do something very important. But due to both of their childishness, a fight ensues. This forces a third member of the Straw Hat crew to intervene in the confrontation. Often, Nami and Nico Robin are responsible for separating these fights, as when a male crew member intervenes, Zoro and Sanji frequently start hitting him for interfering. All this disagreement that we see up to the present day in One Piece originates from the Arlong Park arc. Both had different ideas about how to deal with Nami's betrayal, but the official hate relationship between them started in Little Garden, when the two competed in a hunting expedition, creating a competitive spirit between them that always makes them see an opportunity to challenge each other. Their rivalry even extends to Sanji's cooking, as Zoro rarely acknowledges its quality. Normally, Zoro just says that the food Sanji prepared is acceptable, while the other crew members say it was delicious. This makes Sanji very irritated with Zoro because the swordsman doesn't appreciate his cooking and disrespects him as a professional chef, leading to long arguments between the two characters. Zoro also has a habit of insulting Sanji when he is flirting with Nami or Nico Robin, even though the entire Straw Hat crew has already complained to Sanji about his attitude. Both have common insulting nicknames they use for each other. Zoro never calls Sanji by his name, usually calling him perverted eyebrow, perverted cook, or idiot cook, while Sanji often calls Zoro Marimo, which means moss head, shit Marimo, or shit swordsman. This has reached the point where Zoro never refers to Sanji by name. After their return to the Sabaody archipelago after 2 years of training, Zoro teased Sanji for arriving later, referring to him as number 7, and himself as number 1. Due to the order of arrival, alluding that Zoro is better just because he arrived first, this emotionally affected Sanji, and the two started arguing. During their adventures on Fishman Island, Zoro invented a new insulting nickname for Sanji. Even during the Wano arc, Zoro called Sanji Braugoro, while Sanji called Zoro Mosjuro. Despite their comedic fights and rivalries, they have a brotherly trust and care for each other that they would never admit. They faithfully trust each other's potential, recognizing the great strength they possess. In fact, the two warriors understand each other better than the other crew members, knowing each other's limits, so they know when one of them will win a fight or not, which is why they often do not interfere in each other's combat. Zoro's trust in Sanji's strength and character can be seen several times, even though Sanji doesn't notice it. Zoro smiled when Sanji returned to fight Jabra, one of the CP9 members during the Enies Lobby arc. When Usopp and Frankie were worried about the Sunny crew after arriving in Zoo, Zoro stated that they would be fine since Sanji was with them, although he said he didn't care what happened to Sanji. Luffy caught Zoro listening attentively to PCOMs outside the door, showing that he still cared about Sanji's safety. When Luffy said Zoro was doing this because he cared about Sanji's safety, Zoro got angry, trying to avoid admitting that he cared about Sanji. When the two are forced to fight together against a common enemy, they are an almost unbeatable team, as in the fight against Hamburg, Pickles, and Big Pan, although they often hinder each other by executing some uncoordinated move. This causes them to start arguing in the middle of a confrontation, giving their enemies the advantage to attack, gaining the upper hand in the battle. But after finishing the argument, they regain control, managing to defeat their opponents. Whenever new bounties were distributed, Zoro always prided himself on having a higher bounty than Sanji. However, after Sanji's bounty became higher than his, after the events in Tatoland, Zoro became irritated and threatened to fight Sanji over it. When his bounty became higher than Sanji's again after the Onigashima raid, Zoro didn't hesitate to taunt Sanji about his lower bounty, calling him number 4. During the Tato Island arc, Sanji considered leaving the crew, even clashing with Luffy, kicking him several times while mocking his goal of becoming the Pirate King in an attempt to make Luffy abandon him. Sanji did this to suppress his own feelings and try to spare Luffy. Sanji has probably already told all the Straw Hats about his family and the events at Tato Island, making everyone understand his reasons for wanting to leave the crew at that time. But among them, the one who understands Sanji the most is Zoro, who would do the same or even give his own life for Luffy and his crewmates. However, less serious matters are always a reason for a battle between these two characters, as they can't have a simple dialogue without a major confrontation, forcing another crew member to separate them. From the beginning, we see that these two hate each other, but it's in a friendly way, so this relationship between them will never change. They will always have this rivalry that motivates them to become even stronger. It's clear to us that one would sacrifice his life to save the other, even though they don't show the respect they have for each other because of their pride, though they know that respect exists. Sanji and Zoro are the strongest members of the crew, responsible for guiding Luffy to his ultimate goal of becoming the Pirate King. They are the ones who protect their captain, so they constantly need to become even stronger, the wings of the Pirate King. By provoking each other, they push their opponent's potential to the limit, all for the sake of competition between them, to dedicate themselves even more to their goals and become even stronger, because they need to surpass their limits to face powerful enemies that are yet to appear. Enemies like the Admirals and even Teach's pirates, who are currently in action, seeking the One Piece treasure just like the Straw Hats. So, they need to become much stronger to achieve this goal. In this way, one begins to provoke the other to try to motivate him to become stronger, earning new bounties and causing competitions throughout the series, while still maintaining great respect for each other. We can see this in Wano more than in any other place. After all, we saw that Sanji went to save Zoro when the swordsman needed it. Before that, we saw that when the two reunited in that same place, the way they fought together formed a perfect duo. And the most important fact is that at the moment when Sanji was afraid of losing his emotions and becoming a great threat to his crewmates, a danger to his friends' lives, Sanji trusted only Zoro to tell his secret and ask him to intervene if the cook lost control. This is the true origin of Zoro and Sanji's competition and rivalry. Had you noticed all these moments in the story? That's a wrap for today's content. We hope you enjoyed it and want to share your thoughts on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and catch you in the next video. Take care and stay awesome.